Action scenes are the pinnacle of cinema when done right. But before I dive into what makes a great action scene, I know you've all seen that one Super Eye Patch Wolf video essay. There's a difference between an action scene and a fight. Action scenes are a spectacle between two or more opposing sides. It's a cool physical confrontation, usually with the main character going up against an unnamed group of grunts and absolutely styling on them, while a fight scene is a fight, a physical and ideological standoff between two clearly defined characters, both with something to lose and or gain. To put it simply, an action scene is like an amusement ride. The top priority should be fun and spectacle, while a fight scene is like a car race. Whoever wins should be grounded in strategy and characterization, which should be crucial to the film's plot or theme. The difference between an action scene and a fight lies in their main focus and priorities. Now that we've addressed that, we're going to be asking and answering the question, what makes an action scene peak? A good action scene as a prerequisite should have stakes, consequences, and purpose. But a peak action scene takes it a few steps further. A peak action scene introduces and manages two new elements: the rule of cool and controlled chaos. The rule of cool says that if something is awesome enough, audiences will forgive minor logical issues, improbable physics, or exaggerated risks, as long as it makes the scene thrilling, memorable, or cool. For an action scene to truly captivate me, it must be cool. Even a well-shot car chase or stunt is forgettable if it doesn't feel cool. Technical perfection alone is never enough. Rather than watching someone shoot down a helicopter with decent special effects, I would much rather watch Keanu Reeves kill a guy with a pencil. I love some aura farming in my action scenes, regardless of how unnecessary or impractical it might seem. I love when Dante shoots a pool ball into a crowd of demons instead of just shooting. I love when Ethan Hunt sprints across rooftops and entire cities. He could take a car, an elevator, or anything normal, but no, that's not cool enough. Gypsy Danger literally has a sword, but instead chooses to pull out a rocket-powered fist to punch a kaiju into the stratosphere. Rule of cool beats logic anytime, any day. Although everything else is still significant, like pacing, choreography, and all that. Cool moments for the sake of it elevate good scenes to great scenes. There's a moment in Pacific Rim where Gypsy Danger reaches down and grabs a cargo ship. Keep in mind, this thing has rockets, plasma cannons, and again, a literal sword built into its arm. The ship isn't there to make sense, it's there to make a statement. It's there to farm aura, showing you something so ridiculously cool that your brain shuts up and your inner child takes over. That is the rule of cool. Two giant kaiju fighting is thrilling enough, but making one of them pick up a cargo ship just because is peak. Yet the rule of cool is just one way to elevate an action scene. Another equally powerful ingredient is controlled chaos. When an action scene feels messy, unpredictable, and wild, but underneath that madness, it still maintains precise choreography, clear geography, and narrative intention. A perfect example is the hallway fight from 2003's Oldboy. Dae-soo, for mysterious reasons, gets kidnapped and locked up in a small room for 15 years. After he's released, he obviously goes after the people who trapped him, leading to one of the messiest action scenes I've ever watched. Dae-soo has spent 15 years punching a wall and going absolutely insane. So when he faces a hallway full of thugs, nothing about the altercation feels clean or orderly. It would have been good enough to just have Dae-soo beat these guys up in classic Bruce Lee fashion, but sprinkled chaos elevates the scene to peak levels. His attacks are sloppy, he misses hits, and he literally stops mid-fight because he's tired. And that's the point. This isn't just choreography, it's a messy breakdown with fists. You're not just watching a fighter, you're watching a man survive. Every shove, every dogpile, every gasp of air turns the scene into pure controlled chaos. It feels wild and messy, but you always know what's happening. And that messiness is what takes it from good to great. The spectacle isn't rooted in style, it's chaotic. A great action sequence needs more than just stakes and perfect choreography. It needs coolness, controlled chaos, or both. And if there's one scene that completely encapsulates everything I've been yapping about, it's the night fight from John Wick 3. After being declared excommunicado, John is forced to fight wave after wave of highly skilled assassins, ending up in a knife museum. And yes, that's an actual thing. The knife museum fight works because it hits all sides. The cool factor of John doing impossible things, like outpacing a gunshot with a knife throw. The chaotic tension of everything going wrong. Knives missing and or bouncing, more assassins joining in. Wick slipping, scrambling, and doing whatever it takes just to stay alive. It's not just clean choreography. And that's why this scene works. It's cool because it's chaotic, stylish because it's messy, unbelievable but somehow completely immersive. So in the end, a good action scene can survive on stakes, purpose, and clean choreography. That's the foundation. That's good. But what turns good into great and mid into peak are those extra layers. The moments that break logic because they're too cool to ignore. The messy, frantic energy that makes a scene feel alive instead of rehearsed. The rule of cool elevates the spectacle. Controlled chaos elevates the emotion. And when a scene blends both, even for a moment, that's when action stops being just sequences and becomes cinema at its peak. So all that being said, thank you guys for watching. This video took me a really long time to make, mostly because I was procrastinating, but I promise the next videos are going to be much faster. So if you liked what you watched, please make sure to subscribe and like the video. I think that helps with the algorithm.